Welcome back, dear viewers, and you are still watching the breakfast show. And in this segment of the program, we will talk about Egypt's role in Gaza cause or question and its efforts to send more humanitarian aid and aid convoys to the Palestinian people. And today we are joined by Dr. Ahmad Farrag. He is a journalist and academic. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
So, Dr. Ahmad, as I've just mentioned, that Egypt is a key balancing force in the Palestinian question or cause. How do you see Egypt's role in trying to reach a solution to this problem?
First of all, I would like to thank the teamwork of Nile TV channel for hosting me in this episode. Actually, if we read history,
Yes.
At every point of time, we find that Egypt attempts to solve the Palestinian cause and maintain the rights of Palestinian people. Lately, during the events of October 7th, Egypt actually attempted to solve the conflict peacefully by hosting Sharm el-Sheikh summit to orchestrate the ceasefire in the Palestinian territory. And not only does Egypt attempt to solve the problem peacefully, but it exerts tremendous efforts in terms of rebuilding Gaza, or the issue of reconstruction in Gaza. And as we know, Egypt announced before that it will organize a conference to receive the donors or the parties that will contribute
to the reconstruction efforts.
Yes, exactly, in terms of providing the needed financing, because if we are talking about Gaza reconstruction, we should provide the required financing. And also in terms of the humanitarian aids provided to the Gazan people. Every time we read about a convoy that will go to the Gaza through Rafah crossing. And in this regard, the Egyptian Red Crescent
Yes.
played a major role in providing all the needed facilitations and the humanitarian.
Also, Egyptian hospitals receive many patients.
Exactly. This is one of the most important point I would like to mention. Because as we know, Egypt received all the Palestinian patients and provided all the needed health care to save their lives, to protect them. Also, in terms of education, as we know, after after destroying all the buildings and installments in Gaza, and I mean universities and schools, Egypt received a great deal of Palestinian students here in universities to
Yes.
continue
Their education.
their education. And actually, in terms of the political support, and if we are following the statements of the foreign ministry, I mean Egypt's foreign ministry, we find that whenever there is a contact or a call between the foreign minister Dr. Badr Abdelati and a counterpart in another country, he raised the question of the Gaza issue and the Palestinian cause, and His Excellency stresses the need to solve the conflict peacefully and maintain the rights of the Palestinian people, and the importance of providing the needed financial aids to start reconstructing Gaza and turn things to their natural situation. That's it.
Yes. So, Dr. Ahmad Farrag, also, what is the effect of the war in Iran now on the Gaza crisis?
Actually, before Iran war, the Gazan issue was placed in a high priority for the international community. And even in the Arab world. But unfortunately, after the US and Israel launched Iran war, the general attention in the world was directed to the implications and the impact of Iran war due to its effects on oil prices and food supplies and the international trade and etc. As a result, the international interest in the Gaza issue was retreated a little bit, but I think nowadays, after announcing the reopening of Hormuz Strait, things will be okay, and the international parties can work again to solve the Gaza issue in terms mainly in reconstructing the Strait.
Yes. So, sir, what are the political and humanitarian messages behind the continuation of aid convoys to Gaza and supporting the Palestinian peoples despite all challenges now facing the region?
Actually, by providing all the needed humanitarian aids through Rafah crossing, Egypt conveys a message to the Arab world and to the world in general that Egypt keens on helping the Palestinian people, and that the Palestinian cause is located on or has a top priority on the Egyptian political agenda. And if we trace different periods over history, even in terms of the military confrontation between Egypt and Israel. Egypt offered more than 120,000 martyrs to defend the Palestinian cause and to maintain the rights of the Palestinian people. And lately, when there were attempts to displace the Gazan people from their land,
Yes.
Egypt confronted such efforts and rejected such endeavors and announced that to the whole world that Egypt is opposing the displacement of the Palestinian people from Gaza Strip because this is their land, and Egypt is against the liquidation of the Palestinian cause, because there was the plan to displace the Gazan from their territory, to let them immigrate to neighboring countries, on the top of which stands Egypt. And in such endeavor, His Excellency President Abdel Fattah Sisi announced clearly that Egypt is opposing the displacement of the Gazan people from their land, and Egypt will work on all fronts to defend the interests and to defend the rights of the Palestinian people until declaring their independent state, with Eastern Jerusalem as its capital.
So, sir, also, how does Egypt ensure that aid reaches civilians while maintaining strict security controls?
Actually, Egypt is coordinating with the other party to ensure that the humanitarian aids will reach the Palestinian people who deserve it. And actually, as we saw on channels and TV, that there were professional Egyptian teams went there in Gaza, and even they have equipment and they have facilities to help organize the distribution of such aids to people.
So, sir, also, why is Egypt's approach to border management seen as a responsibility, seen as both strategic?
I'm sorry, can you say it again?
Yes, I'm talking about Egypt's approach to the border management. It's with Israel. Yes, it is seen as responsible and strategic.
Of course, this issue is very, very crucial. As we know, we have a peace treaty signed in 1979 with Israel, and of course there is some kind of coordination between security agencies here in Egypt and the security agency in the other side. But when Egypt does such coordination, it places the interest of the Palestinian people on on top priority.
So, sir, also we'll have this look on reports on Iran's reopening of the of Hormuz to commercial shipping on Friday, easing global energy markets and cut oil prices. But IRGC controls and the ongoing U.S. naval blockade on Iran mean economic relief remains limited until a final deal is reached. Details in the coming report.
Iran announced Friday that the Strait of Hormuz is open to commercial shipping for the remainder of the U.S.-Iran ceasefire, but only through a designated orange route and with prior permission from the IRGC Navy. Military vessels and cargo tied to hostile countries remain banned. President Donald Trump welcomed Tehran's move on Truth Social, saying the strait is completely open and ready for business, while making clear the American naval blockade on Iranian ports will continue until a final deal is reached. The reopening immediately eased pressure on global energy markets. The strait handles about 20% of the world's oil and gas shipments, and its closure during the conflict had pushed crude prices higher and forced tankers onto longer, costlier routes around Africa. With commercial vessels now allowed through, Brent crude dropped 3.8% within an hour of the announcement, and war risk insurance premiums for Gulf shipping began to decline. Major exporters like Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Iraq, and Qatar regained real access to buyers in Asia and Europe, while refiners in China, India, Japan, and South Korea see improved supply security heading into peak summer demand. Still, the economic relief is partial and conditional. Ships must use the IRGC-controlled route and secure Iranian approval, adding delays and compliance risk that keep freight rates above normal levels. Iran's own oil exports remain blocked because the U.S. naval blockade on Iranian ports stays in place. Sources stress that the arrangement is tied to the Lebanon ceasefire and could be suspended if the truce is violated. As a result, markets view the move as a temporary de-escalation rather than a full return to pre-war trade. Sustained stability for energy flows and prices will depend on whether the U.S.-Iran talks produce a final agreement and lift the remaining blockades.
Welcome back, dear viewers, and we are still hosting Dr. Ahmad Farrag, journalist and academic. Sir, as we've just heard that Iran's conditional reopening of the Strait of Hormuz to commercial shipping eased the global energy markets and cut oil prices. Do you expect this to continue in the coming period? The oil prices will decrease?
Of course, by reopening the Hormuz Strait, the movement of international trade will get back to its normal situation, and we will find consequences in terms of the reduction of oil prices, and even the gold prices will be down actually. Also, the prices of food supplies will get down. As we know, the shipping cost when the strait was closed was very, very high.
Yes,
and
even basic commodities. Yes.
Yeah, exactly, basic commodities. And nowadays, after reopening this international water passage, things will be okay for imports and exports and the movement of global shipments actually.
And also we saw that Egypt was ready for all these economic repercussions of the war. So how do you see the way the government deal with this economic crisis?
Actually, Egypt, I mean the Egyptian government, has managed the crisis professionally. There were some measures in terms of saving energy and electricity, actually. Also, the cabinet announced that the prices of certain oil products may be reduced later if things are okay.
Yes.
And in this regard also we can mention the issue of the storage, the strategic storage of basic commodities.
Yes.
We have a balance that covers more than 6 months according to the statements of the supply ministry. So we can say that the government has managed the crisis successfully, and people weren't impacted negatively, actually, and the Egyptian life goes smoothly. And people, I think, didn't suffer comparing with the other countries. Yeah.
Yes. And how, sir, do you read the international reactions to this war?
You mean the ceasefire in Iran war?
Yes.
Of course, all countries were negatively impacted by Iran war, even in the United States.
Yes.
People there talked about high prices of oil and high prices of food, and the cancellation of flights, and also all countries were negatively impacted by war because there is a direct link between, as we know, Iran is one of the major exporters of oil, and whenever there is a problem in oil, all the economic sectors in the world will be affected badly, actually.
Yes. So, sir, do you expect the war to end in the coming weeks, to come to an end?
We hope
that diplomacy will succeed.
Yeah,
as we see.
We hope that because the continuation of war means lots of losses for all the countries in the world, actually. So I think there is a common agreement in all governments, especially in the international forces, to end war and to maintain the ceasefire and turn to the direct negotiations to settle the issue peacefully.
And how do you evaluate Egypt's role in mediating in this crisis? As we see that today the foreign minister is in Ankara to participate in a forum that aims at ending this.
I can say that Egypt is exerting intensive efforts even before launching the war. Egypt was one of the great mediators in this issue, and attempted to help both Iran and the U.S. To reach an agreement, but actually, as we saw, the U.S. and Israel launched the war without getting back to Egypt and without making consultation with Egypt, and as a result we saw that there was deterioration in the situation in Gulf area.
So, sir, also we saw that Israel targeted Lebanon and South Lebanon in particular, and it turns out that Lebanon enters also the war, but now we can see that there is a ceasefire between Lebanon and Israel coming into effect at this time. So how do you see the situation now after declaration of a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon?
Actually, this will have a positive results,
yes,
on the stability of the region here, and this is what actually Egypt attempts to maintain. Egypt not only defends its own interest, but it defends the whole interest of the Arab world. And as we know, Lebanon is one of the countries in the Arab system, and that's why Egypt, as it helps other Arab countries, it helps Lebanon. And we saw that there were humanitarian aids sent by Egypt to the Lebanese people,
yes,
to support and to help them due to the deterioration in the situation there.
So, sir, also, if we talk about Egypt as a key mediator now in the region, and it is now also part of all mediating efforts in all diplomatic arenas. So, to what extent Egypt is playing a pivotal role in solving different crises in the region?
As we are following up when as I say, before launching the war, Egypt exerted lots of efforts with the help of other big Islamic countries like Turkey and
yes,
Pakistan
and Saudi Arabia,
of course,
yes,
to attempt to reach a peaceful settlement to the crisis, and to prevent the war itself. But as I have just mentioned, the United States and Israel made a decision to launch the war without considering all the mediation made by Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and other countries, actually.
Yes, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Ahmad Farrag, journalist and academic. Thank you, sir, for